Your origins with KATO.
So you know this in the neighborhood. There's always people that are glamorized like heroes, and just they're in the neighborhood. They're known, right? You know, you see the Land Kings out there, but you see the guys that stick out. And I had heard about Cato when I was a little bit younger, because the Kings used to always hang out over there on Trumbull. They've always been over there, you know. And as a kid, I would ride around in my bike, and this is when I still didn't know English, so I had to like I don't know how to say it. I went to bilingual classes, so here and there I got picked on, because I wasn't a full blown gangster yet. uh, I would go over there and watch him play, and I just knew him as a kid. It wasn't until when I got out that I heard that Val was with him, and as soon as I got out, Val stopped to go see me, introduced me to him, and he became he became one of my greatest friends, bro, just because he stood up for me when everybody else was trying to kill me, bro. So we weren't friends for a long time, but what he did for me made me I would pretty much have died for him.
That would be hard for a lot of people to understand. I get it though. I get it. There's
You
just
know,
some people that'll put their neck out there for you, and it's like, all right, that motherfucker deserves everything from me.
I have to really say that when every single SD out there was out to kill me, he got in front of me and said, "Come home. You this is where you grew up. Come home." And I got violated that day, man, and he put the biggest guys on me. My ribs got fractured that night.
He didn't make it easy for you.
He didn't make it easy, bro. He wanted to show the rest of the guys that, you know, um, I needed some respect too, man. I was down, man.
So like you said, it's a short amount of time, but in that time, you get familiar with X with DMX. Um, you end up moving to AZ. Tell me about your experience with that and with Dog and I
Oh,
just saw somebody ask in the chat. I want to know about DMX's dogs. Like, listen, that story about him doing whatever they say he did to his dogs. Never, 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 never. There's no fucking way. It just
he
didn't
would treat
happen.
his dog better than he would treat you. Let's
Absolutely.
just put it like that.
And he would treat you
And
good if you was respectful and you was part of the team. He treat you good, but he gonna treat that dog better than he gonna treat you.
yeah, because one thing about him is that he always said he trusted the dog more than he trusted a human, and and
Absolutely.
and in a lot of parts he's right. It's one of the main reasons why I moved out from the house, because like I didn't have to pay no rent, nothing. I just lived there. He was in and out, coming in and out of town, but there was so many dogs in that house, man, that I was going crazy. Like there was like 15, 20, and these are not little dogs, and they're not very nice. So, I ended up moving out, but it was really fun times, man. I can't say, I had any bad experiences with X, because everything was always he loved he would always rap, sing for all his people, he'd take pictures. We would sit there for hours sometimes, and I would be like, man. And we like I said, we grew a bond, man, and in a time where, like, I guess you could say a lot of us were in dark places. He was in a dark place, I was in a dark place. Um, some of my other boys, Tito was around. Tito was the president of the Rough Riders. He got really close with him, but we were just. I feel like a bunch of young kids riding bikes, bro.
Mm, right. Playing.
Playing,
Big ass playground in the desert. Yeah,
but
I went out to Scottsdale for his birthday one time. For it was his birthday. He had got locked up for driving that day, and people believe this story or not. Guess who went to pick him up at the police station? Flavor Flav, Imagine X is locked up and Flavor Flav is coming to get his ass from the police station. That really happened. All right, take that little exclusive with you. I was there. That day I stood in awe. I was sitting at the table when they showed up, and I had just met Flavor Flav, and I found myself fanning out, looking at the clock. I'm looking at the clock around his neck, and the clock got mad scratches on it, and it dawned on me, damn, that clock been around about 45 years. That's the clock right there. So I was starstruck by Flavor Flav's clock.
You know what I mean, bro. Like, a lot of people, they'll hear me talk sometimes, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're full of," you know what I mean? And I'm like, it's just that you didn't live the life that we lived. That's all. Like, you don't have to hate.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we got to sit in the recording, studios with Swiss Beat with like a lot of people that, people would never even, I guess you could say, fan in my meeting. But at the end of the day, like, I have to say, man, it was a bunch of young men that were just lost, bro.
Your roots have been in Arizona since that time?
Yeah, once I left after he got killed, I went back one time, and when I went back that one time, I found out really quick that I had lost my Chicago edge, and I knew I couldn't live there because they would probably kill me. If you want, I'll tell you the story.
Yes, I will take it.
I flew into Chicago to do a powerlifting competition, and for some reason I wasn't thinking, and I stopped at a gas station on the north side to pump gas. I stopped, I jumped out, I put the thing in the car. As soon as I turned around, there was a little dude, maybe 17 years old, gun in his hand. What you be about? Remember, at this time, I have a big old crown on my neck. And I happen to have a hoodie on. So I pull out my ID and I'm like, look, dude, I'm from Arizona. And I show him my ID and he lets me go, bro. He's like, all right, bet. And he leaves. I get in my car. I'm like, I'm never coming back to Chicago again. I lost it. I lost the edge. I lost the Chicago blood. I can't be here no more.
And I'll tell y'all in the audience something. That hoodie would have saved his life, because Shorty might not even ask the question of what you be or where you from if that hoodie was down and he would have saw that crown. Shorty would have just got to work. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Listen to my songs. A red light is the biggest trap you could find yourself at in Chicago, period, point blank. A red light. So if you don't leave some space between you and everybody else, you might not make it.
People don't know, man. The way you drive in Chicago, the way you run.
It's all offensive. And
everything has been a lifestyle over there, man, of survival. If you're from Chicago, you have PTSD.
I got a friend that be telling me that. He'd be like, bro, we buried enough people for you to have something that you need to talk to a therapist about. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we don't see it like that. We've been undiagnosed about a lot of things for a long time. I'll tell you a story. That shorty came up to you and did the whole what you be about, right? I've come to the conclusion in this city that question no longer means anything. So recently, about I don't know, now we got Ring cameras. See, everything that you're seeing now, that shit was happening. I'm sure he would have thought, man, 10, 15 years ago, I would have took Shorty's strap. You know what I'm saying? 10, 15 years ago, I'd have reached out and grabbed Shorty by his face. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's the edge that he's talking about, Now, even us that are out here just protecting ourselves and just trying to survive, we got cameras on us too. The camera is on everybody. You know what I'm saying? So there's a group of guys hanging out on a front porch on the northwest side. Group of older gentlemen around our age. You know what I'm saying? In their 40s, between 40s and 50s, and they're just hanging out. It's fight night. Tank is fighting. They're hanging out. And some shorty pop up on the corner in the middle of the street. They done pulled the whips around. They done their little U-turns and shit. Shorty come out on the what you be about or what you ride. And dudes was like, man, we a bunch of old men watching the fight eating potato salad. And then Shorty just repped his nation and started busting at them and lit one of them up. You know what I'm saying? And that drew the conclusion to me, oh, okay, so the question don't mean shit no more. The answer don't mean nothing no more. The what you be about don't mean nothing. So if you're 4 foot nothing and you jump out the whip on me and you got the what you be about, then I know what the next thing is. The answer don't matter. You're gonna bust at me anyway, so I might have to get you first, Papa. You know, that's just what Chicago looks like right now. You know,
I always tell people like this, and this is just for me doing Fed time and being around a lot of the older gentlemen that were leaders and shot callers and stuff like that. When the feds put all those people away, that's all they did. They caused havoc on the street
facts.
because I remember from my days. I tell everybody that's why I never got into really big drug use in Chicago because there was always eyes on me. I could get violated, you know. So it wasn't until I got to Arizona that I went really crazy with my whole drug use, because there were no Land Kings over here. There were no SDs. Nobody was gonna violate me. I didn't have to like walk a stern line.
Right. Yeah. No, there's no line. These shorties don't walk no line.
But I'll tell you something, Chill, though. Like if you get a couple of solid OGs to go back, man, those youngsters listen, man. They listen. They listen. You just gotta learn how to talk to them because they're trying to prove something in a world where it's all about proving now and showing. And the thing is it's all fake though.
It's all fake.
So like we have to be able to like that's why I love going to the prisons, man, sitting down and spending time with these people because I know what they're going through, what they're feeling, and what they're trying to prove.
Mm. I wanted to ask you about that. Your prison program. How's that been for you? How long have you been doing it? And filling the audience on what it is, really?
So I've been doing it now we're going on 5 months. We go to two prisons out here in Arizona, a men's and a women's. I teach them how to become personal trainers, how to get their license, how to brand themselves with social media, all that stuff. At the end of the day, bro, I call it Jesus with a ski mask because I get to spend time with them and I get to show them what he's done for me in my life, and it's been contagious, bro. Like the yards have really started to change a lot because of the women participating in the program, the men. Um, it's just nice to see what God is doing, bro.
That's a beautiful thing. I mean, especially like these people are in the joint, they're hopeless. It's easy to just sit around and do nothing. For you to get in there, get their blood moving, and it ain't a riot. You know what I'm saying? You getting there, getting them worked out, and I've even seen people outside of in the world that have shown their before and afters, and it's amazing, amazing benefits. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna have to get on your program pretty soon. I keep sitting my fat ass in this chair right here.
You know, I I got diagnosed with a lot of things, man, and they try to put me on a lot of medication. And I always tell people I don't take none of that medication because the gym is what makes me like just feel better. Like it does everything for me.
Let me ask you something else. You're connected with the Chicago. I just caught a podcast of the Wrong to Strong Chicago. They just did a David Ayala, I believe it was his name, a
Yeah,
podcast. I thought it was very dope. So that's a branch off of your work, huh?
yeah. Pretty much. When I started, I guess just putting the positive message out there. Um, One day I was praying and I don't know, for some reason I felt it in my heart to tell Omar, hey, you're gonna be in charge of everything that has to do with you know um what do you call it, video, what people listen to, what you're gonna be in charge of all that, the podcast. And he's like, how are you gonna make me in charge of the podcast if I stutter?
It's perfect.
But I was like, I don't know, man. God just wants me to tell you that. That's it. I feel it in my heart. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you. I don't know if like I'm just sharing what I'm feeling. And man, he ran with that, man, and it's taken off. It's
Listen, I
it's
caught
been
one. I
excellent.
caught one episode, and I thought it was great. I thought he did a great job. It's amazing that these guys like Ayala that have come out the joint after all these years can articulate what they experienced and what they want for the future so clearly and so cleanly. You know what I'm saying? It's a level of
Yeah.
maturity that a lot of people don't live to reach, and it's a level of experience that gets you to those moments. But yeah, your boy's doing a great job. Anything I could do to help him with that Wrong and Strong Chicago, whatever it is, you let me know, because I appreciate what he's doing. It was a great podcast, great questions. He shut up. He let the man talk. It was really dope. I enjoyed it.
My main thing is this: is like Chicago has so much history, so much Latino history, so much gang history, and it's not to glorify nothing, but it's to give people a glimpse of our stories, like how we grew up. LA got their time to tell all their stories and everything. Like, I feel like it's time for us to be able to share like how we grew up in Little Village or in Humble Park or in Canaryville, back of the yards. Because that's the thing about Chicago, and that's why a lot of people get killed, is that even when you go to a different neighborhood, it's a different experience in Chicago. It's a different culture. It's different people, different girls. So that's why like these stories need to be told. They need to be movies.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. Movies and TV shows. I want to write all the stories that they need to know out there. That's the game. And again, I've heard you've been doing your acting thing. How's that been working for you?
I'm gonna fly out in May to Tijuana, and I'm gonna be doing a little project with man, I forgot his name. He's Canadian director. He's the one that did the O.J. Simpson special thing on Netflix not too long ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure
But
his name either.
we're flying into Tijuana. It's about six of us, and if I got it correct, we all worked for the cartel at one time, and it's gonna be like a short film.
Anything you need as far as your acting ride, bro, in the game, you let me know, dog. I got your back, man. Because I'm telling you, it's a beautiful transition. It's a beautiful transition, and actors that don't have the experiences, it's a different thing. Actors that have the experiences is what they want because that authenticity comes across on camera.
Yeah.
That's
Nah,
real.
man. Like I tell people, look at, I'm not trying to make a career out of it. I just think it's fun, and I want to give it a shot. Like, I feel like I can do anything now.
No,
You
no doubt.
know.
No, it's dope. Like for me, doing the rap shit, it was like an easy transition. Somebody had asked me to be in a short film, and I ended up starring in a long film over it, and I just fell in love with it, and it's just been my thing ever since. It was a perfect transition from where I was at to where I was going. So I appreciate it for you, and I think that I think you're gonna do good things. It's a fun thing. You'll meet great people. You're young enough, you're strong enough. Even though the back might hurt a little different than it did 10 years ago, stunts and all of that good shit. A lot of action roles for you. You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Yeah, man. My main, I think my main focus is public speaking, man, and I'm getting ready to open up a halfway house.
Oh, that's
So
dope.
it's gonna be a wrong to strong facility because I'm thinking really big where I want a gym, a like a bookstore, a small coffee shop, and I want it all ran by the people coming home. I got some big just dreams, man.
You're an ambitious dude, bro. Like, there's no reason that you can't just do the work and make things come to fruition. So people don't understand it's never over for motherfuckers that refuse to quit. You know what I mean?
I'm just a I'm a hustler, dude. Like I'm even coming up with my own coffee line.
That's it, bro. Get the coffee, man. We need the cafecito, man. Heavy on the caffeine. We'll be in here 8-hour live streams. Y'all ready for that, chat? Can you tell us about your relationship with the Flores twins? Have you ever worked for them, or how you met them, how you've known them, all of that good stuff?
When I came home, my chief picked me up, and that same night we went out to the nightclub Velocity downtown,
Oh shit,
and
velocity.
yeah, yeah, and we walked in, and they were right there in VIP. They were popping bottles. As soon as I seen them, I knew there was somebody, and it's crazy because his brother, his older brother, was one of the like main kings that was known in that area, and they lived. I think there used to be a Church's Chicken on 26. Was it Sawyer? I'm talking about like '89 when Gold Blocks was still there.
Goldblatts. Yeah, Papa, you working my memory banks right now. That thing I smoked them
Gold,
away a long
Gold
time.
Blocks was on Buchanan. Five Star was, I think, on Trumbull. And I'm trying to think if it was Sawyer or Church. Anyway, I used to mess around with a girl that used to live on that block. Griselda and Yolanda used to live on that block. So I knew of their brother. I didn't put two and two together until I started talking to them. So when I met them at the nightclub and I seen what they were wearing, um, here I'll give you a jewel that a lot of people don't know. You know those little bags that all the cartel members like to wear now? The twins put that into like they were the first ones I ever saw wearing those fresh when I got home from prison.
See, so to all the cartellers that got the you talking about the over the shoulder man bag slash fanny pack slash. So all you resellers and all you cartel bosses, y'all owe that to the Flores twins. All right, you couldn't fit the money in the pockets. You had to
They
slip it in the bag.
they started that trend. I give them that. They started that trend. And whoever has anything to say is like, they started that trend. You see people wearing them now.
So you peeped them and you knew who they were. You knew what they was on.
Yeah, so at the time I had just got home, so I was peeping game. I was peeping game. At the time, my boy also, from 59 was letting me stay at his house, and I was just trying to buy time because I was getting my ducks in line. So I already knew that they were gonna come into a play one day or another, and after that is when I started, I started working and I started messing with KATO, and so I got to see them a lot because I would see them with KATO, and then I would see them when they would be over here with also. So just got to see them a lot, man. But we really didn't get close until KATO passed away, and Val came out to Arizona, and he was out here with her. They they came out here and Val, Val's my daughter's godmother, so they came to my daughter's baby shower, my wife's baby shower at the time.
You ever work with them on the other side, Mexico?
Nah, in Chicago, man, I always tell people I always went through Val, man. I always went through Val, and if Val's getting it somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't really have to. You can put two and two together. I One thing about Val is that whoever she was messing with or whoever she was connected with, he always gave me a run at it. He always helped me out.
Mm,
He always connected me, always introduced me.
right. Had your best interest at heart.
I think so. A lot of people are like, oh, this and that. I'm like, no, at the time, she gave me what I needed to survive on the street.
Absolutely. I mean, you sound like it sounds like she was an integral part of your life. It wasn't just some fly by night shit. She looked out for a brother.
Everybody else, bro, like I tell stories like everybody else, even like my gang leader, when I came home the first time, he let me stay at his house, but every time he had a girl over, he would kick me out. So I had to walk the street at night and almost get jumped a bunch of times because he was doing his thing. That's not true brotherly love. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
So like she did more for me than a lot of my dudes did.
Absolutely.
And I'm not putting none of my dudes down because I shout out to Marlo, Dean, all my dudes. Like I love all my guys, man. All my guys that stood by me through thick and thin. I love them. But there's always bad apples and everything, bro.
Well, I was just not see the man don't cuss. I almost say want to say you to any of the ones, to any of the bad apples, but I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that alone. All right. Were you hip to what was going on with them once it all went down? How did you feel about when you heard, oh shit, the twins are testifying against Chapo, or you probably didn't know, but you knew that they were rolled up and everybody was on the run. Like, where were you in life when that was going on for them?
Actually, when they left to Mexico, was when I got a last phone call from Val, and I remember she's always been in good spirits. So she was like, "Man, just move down here, come down here with us." And I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, man, I should move down here because I was doing bad down here. Like I just wasn't finding myself, and I was working construction jobs. Like it was bad, and I thought about it for a minute, but then after what I want to say a couple months is when everything went down, and I was like, man, I dodged that bullet. Because they would have probably killed me in Mexico. So